Right from my childhood, honestly, till date, I've been hearing this one quote repeatedly from all my friends, family, and mentors when I always wanted to do something new. Niharika, remember, the first impression you create is always the best impression. And this impression matters a lot on your personality and your life skills. I never understood what did they actually mean by that because I was very young to understand these things. But my curious brain always wanted to know what did they actually mean by this creating first impression as the best impression. In what sense I mean. One day I went to my mentor, who's also my professor. I asked him, "Sir, explain me. Tell me in what way I should create an impression that makes people understand that I'm a very good human being. I'm super talented human being." He told me there are three things or three parameters that create this impact. The first thing is the way you speak to people, the way you present your thoughts to people. And the third thing is the way you judge or perceive other people. That means how you speak as public speaking, how you present as presentation skills, and how you judge is actually the evaluation skills. So these are three aspects that are very important to understand and develop a human being's personality. So this is what they actually meant by that. Hello, everybody. And I'm really excited to be joining as speaker at Python Conference Philippines 2023. I am Niharika, your speaker, all the way from India. And today I will be speaking on creating that best impression on people, explaining all the three factors that help in doing so. The first thing is understanding the art of public speaking. The second thing is presentation skills. And the third thing is evaluation skills. Now, how the art of public speaking, presentation, and evaluation skills help and create a greater impact on your personal and professional development is what my talk is all about. So let's deep dive into the topics one by one. So basically, the first thing I'll be covering today is the art of public speaking. The first thing would be public speaking. So let's understand public speaking mastery. How to master public speaking skills. In this, these are some of the contents I will be covering up today in my talk. That is, what exactly is public speaking? What types of public speaking styles we have? What are some of the important elements of public speaking? What causes the fear of public speaking and how to practice public speaking or ways to improve it. Now, the last two, causes of public fear and overcoming it, are some of the most important things I'll be throwing limelight on. Let's start with the first one. Now, let's understand what public speaking is actually and its brief history. Now, this is something really interesting, trust me. Now, according to me, if you ask how do you define public speaking, I would say it's not just speaking in front of public. There is something more to it. And that is sharing your private thoughts that you have in your mind to public through a message in an understandable manner. Did you get what I'm telling? That is, what you have in your mind, you speak it through your mouth, and you speak in such a way that your thoughts reach the audience in an understandable manner. That is about public speaking. So usually when you search on Google, it says speaking in front of public. No, there is something more to it, as I said. So that's the actual definition of public speaking, according to me, sharing your private thoughts in an understandable manner to the audience. And public speaking has no language rule. What do I mean by this? That is, a lot of people think public speaking means you should know English well. You should be grammatically correct. You should know a lot of vocabulary. But actually, that is not what it is. Public speaking has no language. You speak in your mother tongue, in your language, for example, Tagalog, or in my language, my Indian language, Hindi. Irrespective of language, public speaking is what is needed as a message that is to be delivered in a right way, but has no language rule. So yeah, public speaking has no language rule. That is what I actually mean by that. Now, this is something interesting. How many of you actually know that public speaking was evolved from the time that human beings evolved? Well, it has been existing from a really long time, but no one actually focused on its history till date. We should actually thank Aristotle for actually bringing up this beautiful concept of public speaking. We all know Aristotle is a Greek philosopher who's renowned in the whole world. His principles have been studied across in our education system, but there is one thing that he proposed that evolution led to an immense response. That is the principles he suggested for public speaking. There were three principles that he suggested and termed in public speaking that are in modern days used on a wider extent. He named in the Greek language as ethos, logos, and pathos. Now, ethos is a Greek word, and this in current modern days means teaching subjects, your science, social, mathematics. A person who teaches subjects is called ethos. Logos, the people who do debates, the people who try to put their point of view forward in a very clear manner and try to confront themselves, are called as logos, that is debaters. The third one is pathos. Now, this is something widely used in our modern society. Pathos are nothing but emotional talks. Now, emotional talks means all the motivational speakers today, whom we follow a lot, come under the Greek name or term pathos. And they create a greater impact on our lives? Yes. So, these are some of the principles proposed by Aristotle, and thanks to him, through these three principles, today the modern terms of public speaking, its types, elements, all have evolved, and we are using it in our day to day life. So, this is actually public speaking and its brief history. I hope you understood that. This particular picture that you see on the right side of the screen is actually a picture captured from those Greek communities where that is Aristotle standing there and he's delivering his message to people. He is giving an emotional talk to the people during a fatigue that occurred. So, in this way, some of the beautiful pictures are captured as a proof of the term public speaking. So, let's get to the next slide. We have now, this is very important, understanding the types of public speaking or the styles of public speaking. Now, basically, there are many types of public speaking, many. But there are four main styles that are used by people in day-to-day basis, and these four are termed as the most important and crucial styles or types of public speaking. Now, let's start understanding each and every one of them. The first one is ceremonial speaking. As the name itself suggests, you might have really understood what does this style mean. Ceremony. That is, it is a speech or a style of speaking that is particularly given on special occasions. Special occasions in the sense you can take, as I mentioned, entertainment shows, office parties in the sense arranging a farewell party for a person who has worked with you, your co-worker, and or a wedding ceremony, giving an emotional talk on a wedding ceremony, delivering your feelings regarding how you felt about the wedding. So all these talks are called as ceremonial talks. Now, when it comes to what impact do ceremonial style of public speaking create is, as you see here, delivered with intimacy and emotional connection to the audience. The main impact or the reason ceremonial speaking is done is their aim is to create an emotional connection between the audience. You are bidding a farewell to your co-partner in your company. How emotional feeling is that? Now I'll give a speech saying, "Hey Rahul, thank you so much for helping me develop myself through the career. You have been with me right from the time I joined in the company until the date now you are leaving. Thank you so much. Your presence in company and your contribution has created a greater impact." So in this way, you are giving an emotional message or connection with the audience or with the person. So this is how ceremonial type of speaking is conveyed. I hope you're clear with that. Now this is how the ceremonial style is spoken. Now let's come to the second style of public speaking. Now this style of public speaking is called as impromptu public speaking or impromptu style of speaking. Impromptu. This particular style is actually told as the king of types of public speaking. King. Because conquering this style and presenting it in front of audience is the hardest. Impromptu, that is speaking on spot. As soon as you are given a topic or you are given a situation, you have to speak without any prior preparation. Now I'm giving this, for example, take I'm giving this particular talk of public speaking presentation in Python conference. This is something that is already prepared, and I've practiced this a lot of times before I gave the talk and I recorded it. But that is not how the case with impromptu speaking is. Somehow you encounter a situation, you have to speak on spot. You have to be able to manage that situation. And that is the style of impromptu speaking. Now, impromptu speaking helps a lot in thinking process as well as in speaking. So this is considered as the most powerful style of public speaking. For example, impromptu public speaking is a style which is widely seen during job interviews. Now, I have experienced this particular question that you see here on the screen, "Tell me more about yourself," is a question that is very commonly asked in every job interview you go. And do you know, a research told that almost 80 to 90% of the people fail to answer this question because they don't know what to speak about themselves. Such a simple question, but they don't know how to speak about themselves. They say, "I'm sorry, I'm not prepared." What prepared? You are asking you to tell about yourself what you think. So this is how impromptu speaking is done. You tell about your personality, what kind of person you are, how you will handle different situations, and what kind of mindset you have. All these are some of the things they are actually asking you to tell about yourself. So this is actually the example of impromptu speaking. And this is how impromptu style of speaking is done. I hope you're clear with that. Speaking on the spot without any preparation. Now, these two styles are covered. Let's move to the third style of public speaking, informative style. Again, the name itself tells you what style of public speaking is this. Informative, providing information to people or to the audience. The main concept of informative style of public speaking is giving research based talks or giving conceptual talks like subjects, teaching subjects, all your professors, college lectures, school subjects, everything, all these style of speaking come under informative. Your professor's style of speaking is informative style of speaking. He's teaching a subject which is concept or research oriented. So this is called as informative style of public speaking. And the best example I actually gave here is the Python conference talks. Now I am providing you here currently information about public speaking, presentation skills, and evaluation skills. This is an information and my research I have done, and I'm trying to present it to you. So currently my style of public speaking right now is informative style of public speaking. I hope you understood with that. Let's go on to the last style, and also again the most important style of public speaking, that is persuasive style of public speaking. Persuasion, what does this word mean? Is trying to tell others to do something. Now, these speeches usually have a call to action. What do I mean by call to action? Is I am telling you all to go and practice public speaking right now after my talk. I'm telling you to go and practice public speaking. I'm telling you to do it. So, this telling you to do it is what is called call to action or persuasiveness. This style of public speaking is usually carried out by political leaders. Now, you might have understood how political leaders are. They tell you to go and vote for them. They give such a good speech, which is completely based on logics, promises, everything. And they finally, in conclusion, tell you to go and vote for them. So they're telling you to do something is what comes under persuasive style of public speaking. So these are the four types of public speaking that are used on day-to-day basis in the society, and I want you all to understand which style of public speaking do you have or you belong to, and improve yourself in that type. My style of public speaking is informative. So, yes, that's it is about types of public speaking. So, now let's go to the third topic that we have, that is the elements of public speaking. Now, elements of public speaking are the ones that are like, I would say, the superheroes of our talk today. I'll be telling you about two styles from these three styles, and those two styles will be explained in detail in later on talk. The first element of public speaking is presentation skills. If you are able to speak well, the next step is you will be able to present yourself as well. The second element of public speaking is called as evaluation skills. How do you evaluate a person? When you are able to speak well, the next step you will be able to do is present yourself well, and after that you will be also able to evaluate yourself or another person as well. These are the two styles. And then coming to the third one is, you see here, which is probably the listening skills. Listening skills, as the name itself suggests, is listening to people. Now, for me, this is very important element of public speaking. I would tell you the reason why. How many of you are good listeners here? I am not at all a good listening person. The thing is, listening skills, if you have, it will be the solution to a lot of misunderstandings in relationships in this whole world, not only relationships. When a person is speaking, we don't even let them complete or listen to them properly, and we try to confront or tell our opinion. This is one of the major problems to a lot of issues in society these days. So listening skills are those skills very, very important in terms of public speaking. So I really urge you all to practice listening skills as well along with public speaking. Let a person who's speaking complete what they want to and be a good listener. So these are the three elements of public speaking, and among these three, in depth, I will be explaining you about the presentation skills and the evaluation skills. So now let's move to the other slide. Hope you have understood the three elements of public speaking. Now, this is something that I love to discuss about and talk about. Main causes of public speaking. Main causes for the fear of public speaking. As soon as people are asked to speak, people start feeling nervous. They almost get scared. And do you know the main term that is given to the fear of public speaking called as glossophobia? Have you ever heard this word? I think you have not. Just like the way we have different kind of phobias for different symptoms, for public speaking, the fear of public speaking, the term is called as glossophobia. Remember this. And glosso means combining the word of speech, tongue, or word. That is glosso. From this is the word, the whole word glossophobia is evolved from tongue, word, speech. The combination of all these three is actually termed as glosso. Finally, the term glossophobia came into picture. Now, let's focus on the main causes of speech anxiety. Why do you guys get the fear whenever the words public speaking comes into picture. Look at the way these are some of the audience. If you see people staring at you like this, immediately the next reaction is this guy's reaction. So you hold mic and you start praying to God, please, I can't do this. Let me out of this situation. I can't speak. Everyone is staring at me. But have you ever tried to overcome it? Have you analyzed what is the reason behind this speech anxiety? The thing, some of the points are the mainly first thing is lack of preparation. We don't prepare and practice well. That becomes a reason for not able to speak in public. And the first most important thing is audience. As soon as we see large audience whom we don't know personally, we start fearing to speak up. The third most important thing is what I feel is the main reason, the fear of failure or being embarrassed. That is, you start thinking, what if people make fun of me? What if I make myself embarrassed? What if people laugh at me? I can't do this. So as soon as this negative thought about yourself in your mind strikes, you don't feel like speaking. Immediately you back off. And the fourth element is comparing yourself. Constant comparison leads to negativeness, unfamiliar surroundings, zero self confidence. Now, this is also very important. Self confidence is that one element almost most of us don't have. As soon as the above all points start coming in us, finally our confidence goes down and we end up doing nothing. And also lack of opportunity to build speaking skills. More than saying lack of opportunity to build speaking skills, I would say it's us who don't take the opportunity. If you are asked to speak right now in conference, and take this Python conference as example, hey, how did you feel about the conference? How were the talks? Speak up. If someone is asked to volunteer, no one will come up. A lot of people immediately don't turn up. Even though they're given opportunity to speak, they don't, because yeah, that is the problem. That is the cause of speech anxiety. So all these things become the main reason for speech anxiety. And of all these, the main reason is negative thought that you will not be able to do. And finally, lowering down your confidence levels is what causes the fear of public speaking. Next time a person asks what is the term for public speaking and its fear, tell glossophobia and tell these are the reasons. Okay, I hope you have understood the causes for the fear of public speaking. Now let's move on to the most important thing. We have understood the causes of public speaking, like fear of public speaking, and what are the terms we define for its, like what are the terms we define for the fear of public speaking. Now the point that we have to mainly focus on is like how do we put these fear aside and practice public speaking. Some of the ways that we can try to overcome the fear. The first and most important thing is the first block that you see here. Take a random topic, write your views on that, and record yourself on mobile. Later, review the video. Example, for this particular term, I'll give you my own talk right now that I'm recording and giving it to you in the conference. To just record this talk for Python conference, I selected the topic which I'm good at and I felt okay, I can do it. I selected a random topic. I wrote my views, like how should I speak up? How should I do it? And then I recorded myself. Like for this whole talk, I think I've recorded myself multiple times so that every time I record myself, I review the video and I see what way I can improve in each and every video. So almost on the 12th take, you'll not believe, 12 times I recorded this particular talk that I'm doing right now by reviewing all the 11 videos that I took. And finally, the 12th one turned out to be really well. So that is how you practice at home. Take some random topic every day you do it. Take some random topic, write what you get in your mind, thoughts on it. Record yourself on mobile and later review the video. That's how you can do at home. Practice it at home. Do it every day and you'll definitely see a change in your speaking skills. Next one is listening and recording podcasts. Now, podcast is a very fancy word these days. A lot of us listen to podcasts. When you are able to listen, why can't you yourself make a podcast? If you don't want to show yourself in front of camera, the best thing is record yourself. So record podcasts every day, again on some random topics, and somehow listen to it. Okay, so that's how you do it. The next thing is attend or practice and tech meetups, social events, and share your ideas. Now, what do I mean by this is just Python, attending Python conferences, some tech meetups in your place, some random tech events. Go to those events, speak to people, create new friends, network with them, share your ideas. In this way as well, you will practice how to speak and interact in front of a lot of people. Okay. And the fourth thing is join public speaking promoting communities like Toastmasters International Club. Now, what is Toastmasters International Organization and what are the club meetings? You can connect to me after the talk. I'll tell you in depth what exactly. But this community is something that promotes public speaking and leadership. I am part of this community for past 6 years, and just attending their meetings has improved my public skills to maximum extent. So yeah, join Toastmaster communities and improve your public speaking skills. So these are the 5 points in ways you can improve and practice public speaking at home. All these things you can do at home or outside when there are meetups in your office, and at least try one method every day, and definitely it will work out, and you will see a lot of improvement by the end of few months or an year in your public speaking skills. So these are some of the ways you can improve public speaking. Let's go to the next slide, which is shifting to the new topic. Now we have covered all the elements or all the contents that we wanted to speak under public speaking mastery. Now, when you have finally conquered public speaking, the next step, as I said, is presentation skills. Presentation skills are also called as the element, as I mentioned in the previous slide, are also called as the element of public speaking or the subcategory of public speaking mastery. Okay, so what are the contents that we will be covering today as part of presentation skills? Do your research, plan the content with structure. Structure is the word, remember. Supporting aids, engaging audience, and some extra tips. So let's start with the first one, that is do your research. We will go one by one covering all of them. This is very simple to understand and very useful as well, because presentation skills are the most important after public speaking. Now let's get on to the first thing, do your research. Now, what do I mean by do your research when you are selecting a topic that you want to present? First, the thing that we will focus on is your knowledge base here. What do I mean by knowledge base is, firstly, when you are trying to select a title or topic that you want to present in front of public, think what knowledge do you have in that particular topic? Like, what are your knowledge levels? What are some of the topics or skills that you have and you're good at? Now, before selecting this particular topic of public speaking, presentation, and evaluation for the conference and talk at Python, I knew I was good at public speaking somehow. And I felt this would be the right topic to speak on and tell the audience, because I am good at it. I know I can present well. So that's how I felt my knowledge base on this particular topic is good. And then I started researching what are some of the new latest trends in this particular field of public speaking so that I can effectively convey it to the audience. That's what is your knowledge base. First, you decide on what you are good at before selecting a topic and presenting. Then comes to know your audience. Now, when you are finally done checking on yourself and reflecting on yourself what you are good at, the second thing you should focus on and research on is your audience. You should know your audience. Now, what do I mean by you should know your audience is that their age group, their areas of interest, and their domain fields. I'll give you an example to understand this. Now, you are giving a Python talk to an age group and in people who have interest and age group of around 60 plus or 15 below. Now you're giving this talk of Python to a group of people who are 60 plus and who are below 15. Does that even make sense? Do you think they will understand what you are speaking? They will not. How will senior citizens know what Python is? That's something completely irrelevant to them. That's not their interest, their area of interest, or their domain, or their age group. So, this is what is important. Now, according to all these three factors, you have to know your audience and select your topic. If you are good at is not enough, then you should know your audience and then select the topic for your presentation. Okay, so this is what is know your audience. Then the third thing is decide on the type of presentation you want to give. Now this is something that you have already seen in public speaking skill. Finally, you know what knowledge you have decided what kind of audience you want to convey your speech to or your talk to. Finally, the third thing is what kind of presentation you want to give. Do you want to give an informative style of presentation that I am giving right now? I know I'm good at public speaking. I understood the audience who will be watching my speech will understand public speaking because mostly they are from college, they are from software companies, and they are from the community where public speaking is known. After knowing that, I decided to give an informative style of presentation. So in that way, you should understand the type of presentation you want to give. So these three elements come under do your research with the topic. Now, when you're finally done doing your research for the topic, covering all these three things, the next thing is planning the content with structure. Now, this is very, very crucial, very crucial. How do you give a presentation or a speech? It should be in three segments. Finally, when you are done with researching the topic, the next thing is how will you plan the structure of your presentation? Presentation should always have a clear introduction, body, and conclusion. Now, what do I mean by having a clear introduction? Introduction should be in such a way that audience should be able to understand that you're introducing yourself or your topic. In introduction, you can put elements like you can ask a question as soon as you start your speech and grab the audience attention, share a story or an experience, or normally introduce yourself. In body, when it comes to body, in body, you will explain in detail what your topic is. And for that, you will share some multiple or single story to support your presentation. The third thing is conclusion. In conclusion, it is very common. Every one of us know that usually conclusions end with a quote or again, call to action. Do practice public speaking after my speech is what my conclusion is. I'm telling you to go and practice public speaking. I'm persuading you. Or you can end with a normal thanks, formal thanks. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending my talk. I'm really happy to be. I hope you will attend my future talks as well and support me. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great time. So this is how you conclude acknowledging the audience. So introduction, body, and conclusion should be clearly seen. The transition from introduction to body, body to conclusion should be clearly seen in your presentation and in your speech when you are giving. Now, in my case, when I started my speech, if you remember my talk, I explained you a story. I shared an experience how my professor explained me about the three elements that create first impression. I shared my story and then I asked a question to you. That is, how have you guys ever experienced something like this? And then I formally introduced myself and slipped into the body, right? So you're able to understand. In body, I'm explaining each and every topic of the talk with examples. Everything, every slide, I'm explaining with my personal story and examples. So that is what I meant by share multiple or single story to support your presentation. Next, conclusion. Finally, I'm telling you to go and practice public speaking at the end of my talk today. So that is what conclusion is, and I'm calling to action. So I hope you're able to understand introduction, body, and conclusion structure in my whole talk. So this is the second step after you do your research. You plan your content with structure. Then let's step to understanding the supporting aids. After you do your research, after you plan your structure and write down how to do introduction, how to do body and conclusion, the third element is having a check on the supporting aids. Now, this is very, very important. What are some of the tools you use for presentation? Now, particularly for this presentation, my tool is PPT, Microsoft PowerPoint. There are many other tools as well people use to create some fancy and attractable presentations. Figma, Canva, as you see here, I've mentioned a few. So these are some of the ways used in professional companies and as well as in personal presentations. So these are some of the tools for presentations. Now, usage of props. The microphone that I'm wearing right now is a prop that is helping me convey my message and create a greater impact to my presentation. Headphones is a usage of props. Some people use some other props they have. Now I have a phone with me here. Some people show phone as an example while they're explaining or they're telling a demo about the technology used in this particular phone. They use phone as a prop. So in that way, some people use script to read it from that is called as notes or handouts. So those come under the usage of props. So the third thing is in the supporting aids, making professional slides. Now, when you have the tools for presentations and you're using props, how to make slides look professional? Animations, infographics, less written texts, code snippets. These are some of the things that you can have a check on while you're preparing your slides. Sometimes animations and pictures attract a lot of audience rather than a lot of lengthy filled, top to bottom filled written text. Now you can see some of the icons I have used for this presentation to be impactful. See, I used this icon. I've used this icon for tools of presentations. I've used this icon for making professional slides. So these are some of the icons that I've used to make my presentation look attractive. When you're giving a technical presentation, a lot of people use code snippets. They directly write the code and they make it everything looks so real. So these are some of the ways you can make your slides professional. Picking the right colors, frames, fonts. And always remember there should be a combination that should be followed while making slides. Always there should be a light text on a dark background or vice versa. That is dark background and light text and dark background. If you see, my background is light, which is almost biscuit color or cement color, and the text that I've written, the font that I've used, all are looking professional and dark on the light background. So this is how you can make your presentation look professional, and these three are some of the supporting aids you can use to look or create an impact on your presentation skills. Okay, so we have covered 4 contents as part of acing presentation skills. The first one, do your research. Second one, plan your content according to that. Third, have a check on the supporting aids. And let's check the last thing, how to ace your presentation. This is the most important thing. After planning your structure, for me, this is the second most important content in presentation skills. How to engage your audience. Finally, you are prepared everything from your side. And finally, how should you engage your audience so that they listen to your presentation? You have done so much hard work in preparing, right? Now, how to engage the audience? First one is share your personal stories or examples. Why do I keep saying personal stories, experiences? Is that every time you share something from your side, people get emotionally connected to it. They feel, oh wow, she has experienced it, even I have experienced, or might be I should also do something like this. So that emotional connect gets logged. So this becomes most important thing, the reason why you have to share your personal stories. Okay, this is the first important thing in engaging the audience. Always share personal stories as much as you can. The second thing is ask interactive questions. Now, you might see there are few things that I'm repeating right from the start, like engaging, like sharing personal stories, asking questions, because this is what matters the most. I've been repeating this from the start, asking interactive questions. How are you guys feeling about my talk so far? Is it good? Is it bad? What do you think? What's your opinion on this? Now, when I say, what's your opinion on this? I'm asking a question to you. As soon as I ask a question, the people who are sleeping as well, literally who are sleeping in the audience, will wake up and like, oh yeah, she's asking a question. Let's focus on the presentation. So this is how they try to focus on the presentation and somehow get hooked to your presentation and follow it. Okay, so this is what I mean by asking interactive questions. The next one is physical appearance. Wow, this is what attracts the audience most. If you are wearing a formal dress and you have combed your hair so well, makeup on, you look from top to bottom so pretty, clean, neat. Imagine how audience will keep staring at you, and that will actually make you feel good. I mean, it will make you feel, oh my god, they're paying a lot of attention to me, I have to do well. So that particular appearance, physical appearance, is really important to give impression, first impression, good impression on the audience. If you're wearing shorts with rugged hair, stupid hair, and you're speaking like this, standing like this, and you're speaking, who cares? Who will even listen to you? They will feel he himself is not interested in speaking. Look at him, the way he is. Why should we listen to his speech or his talk? So this is how it creates an impact on audience. And the fourth and most important thing in engaging audience is your body language. Did you see right from the start of my talk till now, the way I'm using my hands, gestures, the way I'm trying to contact, looking here, there, down, up with the audience, the way I am moving myself back and forth to create an impact, to convey my message, all these moments create a lot of impact on audience and also engage the audience. When this is in virtual environment, because I'm recording this talk in virtual environment, this is like, how will you do when it is physical? Use the stage, try to interact with the audience on the right corner, on the left corner, go there, interact with them, engage them, come on, get that vibe that makes them feel like listening to you. Okay, so that those are the things that come under body language. Okay, so finally, how will you engage the audience is share your personal stories, ask some questions, dress well, and also show your body language in a very good manner. Have some moments, make your whole presentation fun. So this is how you engage the audience. Okay, so finally we covered all the 5 important contents that come under acing your presentation skills. Do your research for the topic, plan your content with structure, supporting aids that help your presentation, and finally, how to engage the audience. Okay, these are some of the extra tips I have finally before concluding my ACE to presentation segment. That is, be yourself. Be yourself. Don't try to copy how others are speaking. Don't try to speak American English just like this so that it helps you understand. Don't do that. How funny it is. See, don't try to adapt some other style of speaking or other slang so that it creates an impact. No, be yourself. It's okay. However, your language skills are, just be yourself. And that itself is enough for audience to understand how good you are at. Don't, okay? Be clear while you're speaking. Adjust your vocal, be clear and audible enough while speaking. Don't be so low when you're speaking. Don't be too high when you're speaking. So you have a pace of voice, that pitch, pace, that everyone is able to understand you. Then if you're feeling nervous, oh, this is something that I do while I present. I have a bottle right beside me before I started presentation, a bottle of water every time I need. I drink, I relax myself. Harika, you can do it. And then I start speaking. So this drinking water, just relaxing your body before you get started, little warm up helps you to reduce nervousness. And finally, practice, practice, practice. Practice makes man perfect. Practice well so that you can ace your presentation, literally. So I know I've been covering a lot of topics at once. The reason I'm covering a lot of topics is a lot of things is that at least one topic, if you're able to implement in your day-to-day life, at least one suggestion, that is more than enough. So let's start by implementing a single thing and slowly move on to understanding multiple things. So I hope you have got this. So finally, we come to an end of Ace Your Presentation element and hope you have understood what I've been speaking till now. Now let's go to the final element and final segment of our topic for today. That is, the art of public speaking is done. Presentation skills is done. And finally, evaluation skills. Now, evaluation skills are my personal favorite amongst all these three topics that I've been speaking about, because evaluation skills gives so much energy, and it actually is a trigger for a human being to improve themselves every day. So what exactly is evaluation skills? Let's focus on it. Evaluation skills are again another element or subcategory of public speaking mastery. As I mentioned in the earlier slides, presentation skills, evaluation skills, and listening skills are the elements of public speaking. Okay, but we are discussing only presentation and evaluation amongst that. So, what is evaluation and what is its purpose? Evaluation means providing positive feedback to a speaker or presenter. Now, if you search in Google evaluation skills, the first word that comes in Google is judging or assessing a person. Wait a minute. I want to tell you something. There is a lot of difference between judging a person and providing a positive feedback to a person. Judging is done in a negative sense. Oh my God, look at the way she is. Can't bear her presence. Oh my God, I hate the way he speaks. Look at the way he's standing. This is how judgment goes. And it is always done in a negative manner. That's human psychology. But in evaluation, we don't want to do that. In evaluation, we just want to send some positive vibes to people who are speaking. That is the presenter or the speaker. So the main purpose of evaluation is always providing positive feedback and boost confidence for the speaker so that they do better in their upcoming future talks and presentations. Okay, so positive feedback helps motivation, boosts confidence, and shows people you value them. It helps people to understand and develop their skills, and all this has a positive impact on individual, team, and organization performance. Okay, every time a speaker speaks and presents, at the end, providing a positive feedback to them is really important. As it is said, it helps create an impact on individual, team, and as well as in your organization performance if you are working in a company. Okay, so let's see how evaluation is actually done. How do we evaluate? Let's see. Now, after speaking for such a long time, as soon as I saw the sandwich, it makes me feel like eating it. Now, you might be wondering, why did I put a sandwich here? Is she slowly from public speaking? Is she slipping into eating skills or cooking skills? No. Basically, the sandwich is what we call as a method to evaluate a person or perform evaluation skills. Now, evaluation skills is done in sandwich method. The method to evaluate a person or a speaker we called as sandwich method, or also we say it is a 3-layer method of evaluation. Now let's see, why do we call the method to evaluate a person as sandwich method? Why is it called as sandwich method? It's wondering because the first layer, what is the first layer or the first slice of sandwich? The upper one, right? The upper one that you see here is the first slice. So this, just like the first slice of sandwich, we start with a positive comment. Okay, the positive comment, or we tell the speaker the points that they excelled at. Okay, the first layer is we tell the speaker how good they spoke. What are the points I loved in their presentation? Okay, so if you ask me to evaluate my own speech in the first layer of sandwich method, I will say Niharika speaks quite well. I loved the way she used a lot of examples in her talk to enhance and engage the audience. I loved the way she used some icons, which was so cute and made her presentation look attractive. So these are some of the points she excelled at. Did I evaluate myself in the first layer? Some of the positive points that a speaker excelled at. Okay, give some positive comment. Then the second layer is just like the meat and veggies in the sandwich. So the second layer is the most important layer because That is what adds the taste to your upper and bottom layer. Otherwise, without that, sandwich looks so pale and tasteless. So next, second layer is the suggestions for improvement. Now, you have told what the people have excelled at, or so you have given some positive comments in the first layer. The second layer, tell them what you felt bad, but in a way that they can improve. We don't want any negativity. As soon as I said positive comment, you might have thought the second layer would be negative comment. That's what I said. Evaluation is not all negativity. We want positivity. So tell them how they can improve. Give them some suggestions in an encouraging manner, how they can improve. Now, in the second layer, if I have to evaluate myself, my own talk right now, I would say I felt Niharika's pace of speaking was quite fast while she was giving the talk. It was quite fast. She was telling so much at once because of, I think it is because of the time duration that you have, that you want to cover a lot and help people understand multiple things. I felt your pace of speaking is a bit faster and you're telling so much information at once. It is being hard for us to digest. I'm evaluating myself. So next time, speak a little slow and take the content that is less and also is more impactful. Okay? You might have understood the way I'm trying to evaluate myself. I evaluated myself and also I'm telling how the way I can improve. You want to say a lot. This is your first time giving a presentation on public speaking. So it's okay. This is your first time. You have done well. But then in the future, when you're giving more presentations like this, speak slowly and have content that is little and can cover a lot, not more content and more speaking. I hope you understood. So this is how the second layer is done. Okay. It comes to the point of improvement. The third thing is finally the closing, the final layer that creates a sandwich. As the third layer is a slice that is almost similar to the first layer, right? The first layer and second layer bread looks same, right? Almost same, only then we can sandwich. So the third layer is a closing layer for your sandwich, and it is actually called as the layer where you can give some positive, encouraging comments and finally wish them the best in their life, in their upcoming presentations. Finally, you can say, so finally, when you have done well, and these are some of the points you excelled at, and these are some of the points you can improve. Finally, I conclude my evaluation saying that Niharika, in your upcoming presentations, I hope you keep up the spirit, keep all the points I said and suggested to you in mind, and hope you practice well and hope you give the best. I hope you have a great life ahead. So this is how you encourage them and end the whole evaluation. So I hope you have finally understood the 3 layers of evaluation, which is called as sandwich method of evaluation. First layer, tell some of the good points they excelled or some of the points they are very good at. Second layer is the points of improvement, or how from your side give some suggestions how they can improve their upcoming speeches. And finally, the third layer, boost their energy, give some encouraging comments and say, thank you so much for giving this speech and I'm looking forward to your more speeches and presentations. So this is how you evaluate a person. I hope you have understood the 3 layers of evaluation. I hope you have literally understood the 3 layers of evaluation. So finally, this comes to an end of our evaluation segment. Evaluation is quite small than the rest of the topics, that is public speaking mastery and presentation mastery. So finally, I hope you have understood what did I cover in public speaking skills, public speaking mastery. That is, what is public speaking, types of public speaking, elements, and all these topics that I've spoken. And finally, coming to presentation skills, ace your presentations. These are some of the contents we covered and I hope you have understood as well. And finally, coming to evaluation skills. So evaluation is small. So the only thing that you need to remember is sandwich method. So finally, this is the whole combination of 3 important segments that help you build your personality: art of public speaking, presentation, and evaluation. If you have any doubts or if you need anything regarding this presentation is open to you, and also you can ask all the questions during Q&A. I'll be able to answer everything. Even though if you felt my pace was faster or I was going with a lot of information, you will have this presentation. I can always share this presentation, or even the team will share the presentation with you to look upon and understand to improve yourselves in these things. Okay, so finally summarizing the whole talk, what did I directly or indirectly mean is preparation, practice, and perform. These three things are enough. Preparation, practice, and perform is what are the three P's I want you to remember. Finally, after summarizing the whole talk. So, preparation, the way you prepare your whole topic, the way you practice public speaking, as I mentioned, and the way you perform finally on the day and receive some positive feedback from the audience is what summarizes my whole talk in 3 words. Okay, so finally, before concluding my whole talk, I would like to give you a task. So as you saw how I evaluated my own self during the evaluation segment that I was explaining to you, I want you all to be my evaluator. Please be my evaluator, and following the 3-layer method or the sandwich method of evaluation, at the end of the whole talk, when you watch, I want you to evaluate my whole talk and come up with some questions as part of Q&A. So this is what I'm expecting from the audience, and I hope you literally come up with some questions and evaluate my talk and provide me some feedback so that I can improve my presentations in the coming conferences. So thank you so much, everyone, and salamat from my end. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm really looking forward to joining you guys in person as well, and hope we have a great time and improve ourselves and our personality through the art of public speaking, evaluation, and presentation skills. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining my presentation. Hope you have a great time.
Now we have a bit of time to go through a couple of questions, actually. So there's one here, Niha. How do you deal with evaluations that you don't want to hear, or evaluations that you disagree with because it was misinterpreted?
Oh, yeah. Same situation that I encountered when I first gave my speech. I think the first key to become a public speaker, or as I said, a good presenter, is in my slides I told, be a good listener. That is, when you're an open-minded person and you're ready to compromise, when you're with this mindset, I think that is when you will actually see different perspective. There are 2 groups of people, as we know, good and bad, and I think something that bad people teach us is how to improve ourselves. So I have always taken the bad and negative evaluations that I've got in a very positive manner and have worked on them. So being open-minded is the key.
Right, of course. Always being open-minded. That's good. Another question, I guess, is how has public speaking or making a good first impression helped you in your career so far?
It's actually going fantastic, because I remember I was never an introvert, but then I actually didn't know how to express myself. But then, I don't know, suddenly there came a time when I decided to record myself. As I said, practice, practice, practice. Slowly, I understood the importance of that in my college. A lot of presentations that made sense, and during job interviews that actually created impact. And even in profession now, right now in my office, I think, yeah, public speaking is what makes the difference.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Thanks for your time, Niha. It was a lovely talk. That's about it, guys, for public speaking. Thanks, guys. See you later.